Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin look and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
See, I gotta get on the edge.
Well, that whole panel got beards, but Nathan, you need sugar curls. Not Nathan. What?
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Nope.
We get that soundboard up a little bit. Turn that soundboard up a little bit.
Check. Nope.
Turn that soundboard up a little bit. Mic check, mic check. Let me get that soundboard up a little bit.
Check.
Can you use the wireless one? I ain't got no split. Here.
Be careful with
Hey, can we
Beijing.
get that soundboard up a little
Shit,
bit?
they got the fibers now.
Hey, yo,
Don't
shout
need
out to all the
Beijing.
beautiful people with all this black excellence in the room tonight, man. Y'all are looking absolutely amazing. Y'all are looking absolutely amazing.
Two, check, 1, 2.
Nope.
Hey,
Nope.
Hey, can
Nope.
I get the mic real quick? Can say something real important real quick
Nope.
before we get started?
It's go time. Welcome to King Talk, y'all. We're going to introduce this panel. Y'all give it up for Quest, Trill, Humble Dad, Alan, Nathan, Shan, Rilla, me, myself, I'm Lapeef J.I. Welcome to King Talk. What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
What's the word, man?
It's incredible.
Looking good, brother.
Solid.
Man, all y'all looking good,
job,
man.
man.
Pause.
Like everybody's not looking
Good
good,
job.
bro.
Everybody
Don't
not
just
shit
say
on
that.
today.
You keeping it funky, huh?
Just,
Make
don't
more
just say that.
$1
Like,
deals
you know what I'm
up here, man.
Some people didn't make right choices.
Oh, okay. Well, I know what you mean. Somebody didn't get the memo, but
Hey, y'all looking like money up here. I like this. I like to see my man up here, my fellas up here, goddamn flexing hard like this. I like this. Yeah.
Definitely dressing up. You get a totally different reaction when you're in a suit that's tailored to you, you know what I'm saying, compared to when you're in basketball shorts and a hoodie. So,
hey, ladies, what y'all like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the ladies It seems like the ladies like the men dressing up.
They say that, JR.
Ladies want to see the suits.
Oh shit!
Okay.
We're getting a little pushback. What you say?
They want to see y'all in the suits, fellas.
But when cuffing season come around, they looking for gray sweats.
Oh,
Say what?
okay.
When cuffing season come around, they looking for gray sweats.
Now that's true, ladies.
Like,
I know
why you
y'all
gotta
love
be
them gray
gray?
sweats and them hooping shorts, hoochie daddies, yo. What y'all want to see? Suits or hoochie daddies?
Hoochie Daddy suits.
Hoochie Daddy shorts, huh?
I said hoochie
Hey, how's the sound? Can y'all hear us out there? It sound dead on this end. Can y'all hear us out there good? Okay. A sweatpants suit? Billy, you extra. Oh, no. You keep that energy over there, man. We're going to bring it over here. But welcome to King Talk, man. It's good to have you guys in attendance again. I would say make sure you get the likes up, but we're not in front of the computer. But we do have some people that are watching via stream. So the people that cannot be there, make sure you get the likes
Shout
up.
out to the live stream.
Let's go ahead and get this show started, man. So since I have you guys all in person, let's talk about the high value man, because that seems to be a trending topic over and over and over and over and over again, right? Shan, go ahead and kick it off with this high value man, since you're an expert. You know, Real always bragging about how you fall in that category. I could be wrong, but maybe you do.
Well, you know, the high value man, the term was originated in the 80s. A lot of you guys probably don't remember a TV show called Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. Anybody that used to watch Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous, there was an episode way back then where a lady came on and talked about high value men, and she defined it then. I think it was like 1984. I was about 12 years old, but I used to watch the TV show all the time. And so women actually defined the high value man, saying that he needed to make a certain amount of money, so on and so forth. And then in 2014, a book came out called The High Value Man.
What?
Written by an Asian guy, believe it or not. And then in 2018, another book came out by a woman talking about high value man. And then, of course, Kevin Samuels came along and made it popular over the last couple of years. What Kevin did was he took all those points that people talked about, and then he he created parameters around it that define that. Now, in my personal opinion, I go by what Kevin Samuels did. And the reason why is because if you allow people to define high value man based on their own personal feelings, and there's no set description. It's kind of like any other description, anything else. You know, what's the definition of a black man? Well, I think a black man, we don't want to go by people's feelings when we define certain things, right? What is marriage? You know, what is a husband and a wife? You know, a lot of things have specific definitions. And so because Kevin put those parameters around high value men, I kind of follow that. So what Kevin says is, listen, you got to make 10 grand a month, right? A lot of people say $100,000 a year, but that's not enough. You got to make 10 grand a month, which comes out to $120,000 a year, and then that's adjusted based on inflation, right? In addition to that, there's 5 more points. Now, we always get hung up on the money side. High value man is, well, you can't be one, according to Kevin, if you don't meet that first piece of criteria, but just meeting that alone is not enough. In addition to that, you also have to have been making that for at least 3 to 5 years. You have to have been making that. So you can't just bust a PPP lick and then instantly, because you made some money one year, you suddenly are in the club. That's not how it works. Consistency matters, ladies and gentlemen. And so becoming a high value man, based on Kevin's parameters, you have to have done that for 3 to 5 years. In addition to that, well, how can you prove that you did that? And that's what we go by, what we call LinkedIn level visibility. You can't just be a D-boy. You can't just say I'm an entrepreneur. You have to be able to, somebody has to be able to look at you, be able to check you out, and be able to look you up. And by looking you up, that's why he says LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, being a social media, is not just something that you can just throw up there and say that you're somebody. It also has connections, and it also has vouching. There's a vouching system on LinkedIn to have other people prove and corroborate your story of who you are. So you have to have the visibility. In addition to that, you have to, so those are those 3. The 4th one is you have to be in a club. You got to be part of the club. Yeah. There's a network involved in becoming a high value man. So yeah, well, you know, I work at, I'm an executive vice president of such and such. and I make this amount of money, and I've been doing it for this long, but I'm also part of a club of other men that can verify what I do. These guys are saying that I'm part of that high value. You can't be, there's no such thing as a loner high value man. It doesn't work that way. You got to be part of, it's a fraternity of sorts, right? And then in addition to that, you have to be useful to the club.
Come on.
So people, you got to be you got to be useful to the club. You can't just be in it and nobody's speaking. You know, nobody can use you.
We waiting on you.
What good is that? What good is being a man with means and wealth and all that if you can't be used within the club? And really, you know, the sixth one, it slips in my mind.
Let me ask you this question, Shannon. Where does integrity and character
It
come
doesn't.
in?
It doesn't.
So you're saying that you can be a high value man
Be a
and
high
have
value
low
asshole.
character and low integrity.
Yes.
And be a douchebag.
Yes.
That's crazy. That is insane.
I know it is. I know it feels that way because we're speaking on emotion. But when you remove the emotion out of it, think about this. High quality man is different than a high value man. And so a lot of people want to put the value, you know what, I think value has to be integrity, and he's nice and he treats me right and he talks to me and he cuddles me after we have sex. That has nothing to do with the value of a thing. That has to do with the quality of an individual. And so a lot of people conflate high quality man with a high value man. All women want a quality man, but they all claim that they want a high value man. So the value of something, what it's worth on a marketplace, has nothing to do with if its efficacy of emotions.
Let me ask this real quick then.
Go ahead.
Ladies, first off, we know y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want. Right. But I'm gonna ask anyways, do y'all want quality or do y'all want value?
All right, y'all.
Hey,
ladies,
you're not a woman, dude.
No,
He said women.
I'm finna go get the ladies. You stay on the stage. We good.
That's what I'm doing.
Come on.
All right, simmer down, y'all. Simmer down.
My only pushback to that would be this, right? Shane, you said that on LinkedIn, right? That the person has to get vouched for.
Hold on,
Right.
hold on, Trey. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Trey.
Okay, yeah, nah. What I was saying, like my only pushback to that, you said on LinkedIn they have a vouch system. So exactly what are they vouching for? Because those people that you work with can't necessarily vouch that you made such and such amount. Like salary is hush hush, especially in corporate world. So what are they vouching for if ethics and integrity mean nothing?
Well, it's okay. So if I claim that I'm a neurosurgeon, right? A neurosurgeon in the United States is the highest paid salary job, right? It averages at $450,000 a year. That's a W-2. They get a paycheck like everybody else. That's the top job in America. I can go around and tell you guys that I'm Dr. Shannon. I'm Dr. Shannon. And who are y'all gonna check? Who's gonna verify that I'm Dr. Shannon? I can come up with a certificate. I'm good on Photoshop. I can do what I want to do. Now, when you guys say, well, is Shannon worth who he say he is? This is what happened with Dr. Umar Johnson. If you guys can't look me up to make sure that I'm a doctor without me showing you a whole bunch of stuff, that's the part that you have to be visibly verifiable in claiming who you actually are. So if somebody says that I work at ExxonMobil and I'm an executive director in Texas, well, you know, are you just saying that and you really just live with your mama? No, here's other people that know that I work at Exxon and there's such and such thing. So that's what's.
You look like you're about to say something, bro. What you about to?
Go ahead, Nathan.
Pipe it up.
I don't know. I was trying to listen to understand, but I was confused. I'll say this. I'll say this. Unfortunately, we live in a society now where anybody can manipulate or recreate their lifestyle based on society's expectations. Nothing is really can't go based on social media anymore. People found a way to recreate and reinvent themselves via social media. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people who fake it till they make it. Unfortunately, a lot of people are easily persuaded by material things to assume just because you dress nice or you got that car leased or rented, that automatically puts you in the status of a high-value man. I think, to be completely honest, I think the situations in life, as they change, determine the value of a man. So, for example, if this country turns upside down, the true value of a man is going to be determined based on his ability to hunt, gather, protect, right? So value is going to be really not based off of money, but a man's capability to do things.
That's facts.
And so I think, unfortunately, we've gotten so confused and got carried away being obsessed with money and materialism that we are now equating that with value. But truth be told, the money's not looking too good. Then what value of a man are you going to be if you can't do anything outside of that? So I believe we got to start looking at the situation as the value of a man needs to be something that surpasses his pocket. And so, because if you can't do that, then how are we judging men?
Fellas, if your ass don't know how to go out into the middle of the woods and start a fire.
Facts.
If you don't know how to go and hunt, if you don't know how to go and trap, if you don't know how to work weapon systems to be able to protect your family, if all this shit go up, clearly, right? This is what he's talking about right here.
Well, half the men in this room don't know how to change a tire.
That's facts.
Damn.
That's facts. Hey, no shame, fellas.
Oh,
no shame, fellas. Where you at?
Oh,
Where you at? 'Cause I know your ass in here hiding.
Oh, my God.
If you don't know how to change no tire, hold on. If you don't know how to change no tire, you ain't got to raise your hand.
Simmer down, y'all.
But you better figure it out soon.
Hey, JR, we got a female chat ninja that got a question for the man on the panel.
Okay.
It's more of an answer.
Hold on, we can't hear a mic.
It's more of an answer. Quest asked if you want quality or value. I honestly feel like I'd rather have quality because I feel like with value, a value is going to come. As a woman in a man's life, you're going to add more value to him and he's going to become more valuable. But qualities are something that's already in that man.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Go ahead, Trill.
The thing is this, though, again, like, it's no way to separate high value and integrity, right? Because what you're saying is you proving that a man could go get money. He's an asshole. But if he doesn't have integrity, then that means that I can't trust you at your word. And in business, everything is about your word. You literally have contracts that are shake hand. You know what I'm saying? So just because you can go accumulate funds doesn't necessarily mean that you're a high value man, because if you don't have integrity, I can't trust you. So what value do you bring to me if there's uncertainty when I look at you?
Well, but that's okay. So let me do it like this. And I hear what you're saying, Trill, but let me be clear.
Keep it funky.
Keep it short, too. Keep it short.
Bring your ass up here.
This is the analogy I always use. This is the best way to explain it. I'm born in 1972. I'm 50 years old, right?
Hey, nah, shout out to my boy, because he looking play as hell in here.
That's a fact.
Shout out to my boy.
What?
Shout out to bro.
He looking more in shape than some of you young niggas. Pipe up.
In 1972, Chevrolet made a Corvette called the Corvette Stingray. The Corvette Stingray is a valuable car because the marketplace determines how much that car is going to be sold for.
So you mean monetary value?
Huh?
So you're saying monetary value?
Monetary, yeah, because that's what you spoke on. You talking about men making money and whatnot. You talking about integrity, and you spoke on integrity. Now here's the thing: if you run into a brick wall driving a 1972 Corvette, you will die. That car is not a safe car to drive. If you go get yourself a 2011 Honda Accord, you will be safe, but it's not valuable. Anybody can buy that car. That car is plentiful. You can find it everywhere. There's lots of quality cars out there that people can afford and purchase, but everybody wants that 1972 Corvette that's hard to find and is worth a lot of money. Its value is a lot more than a 2011 Honda Civic that will save your life with airbags and power brakes and power steering. Corvettes don't even have power steering. So why would this old car with no power steering, no power brakes, very unsafe to drive, doesn't even have a cross seat belt that just goes over your lap that you will die in, why is it more valuable than the next car? It's because it's rare, more people want it, and it's something that has been established by the marketplace.
But based on that, but if there's no if it's not reliable,
it's not.
Okay, so why
reliability has nothing to do with value?
Well, what it should be.
Okay, that's crazy.
That it should be. Right. What you're saying. What you're saying is that because it costs a lot of money.
No. It doesn't cost a lot of money.
Okay. Well, it doesn't cost a lot of money, but you're saying the value is wrapped up in
the marketplace.
The marketplace, the supply and demand, right?
Supply and
That's what you're
demand.
talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
But the thing of it is, that's what it is. When we're talking about men, right? We're not necessarily talking about a car.
Okay.
Right. So men, when we're talking about high value, it should not be on how much money that they make. Reason why is because every man that makes a lot of money doesn't mean that they have high character, that they don't have high integrity, that they don't have a moral compass. And so those are the things in which we're supposed to be teaching our young dudes.
We should be.
So if we're telling the young dude to say, hey, go get all the money that you can, but however he has he's an asshole, right? Then what's the point of him being able to build a legacy?
Well,
because all he's doing is he's going to multiply more assholes.
I understand that, and that's why the women in the room want a quality man over a valuable man.
So let me ask this: is it possible we defined high value the wrong way?
No.
No, I think so.
I think it is defined.
I agree.
I think that's the issue. Well, if we're taking, let's discuss facts over feelings.
Let's
right?
get it.
And so the reality is, I think that we've misdefined high value. We're defining it the wrong way. We're using society's definition instead of the actual. No, it's
the marketplace. The society is the marketplace. The people that want that person, we're using their definition.
And society is wrong. That's the issue. Is society has an issue trying to understand what the reality of the world is.
Hello, motherfucker.
So it's more so it's more so of a situation where we need to actually define it correctly because we have it defined wrong. And people are being misdirected, they're being misled. Because if we take a show of hands with the men inside this room, by a show of hands, based on the definition of Shannon the Great, how many of you guys are high value men? Or are you men of value? Which one of you guys, how many of you guys, by a show of hands, are high value men?
What, based on based on the criteria I laid out?
Right, so there's about 5. So by a show of hands, by a show of hands, how many men in this room are men of value?
Now ask them.
Well, you can be both.
Bruh.
How many men in the room are men of quality though?
She said, read my super chat.
And that's what I mean.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, and that. Go ahead, Nathan.
So the issue, I think the issue is there's a difference between society's definition and then the definition of reality. As a man, are you a man of value? Are you valuable as a man? Only a man can answer that. If you're not valuable as a man, right, then that's an issue. High value is a concept. It's a social construct created by a materialistic society. At the end of the day, because we have gentlemen up here saying, if a man is high value, it's not considered high value if you're talking about integrity. But that is actually a value that a man absolutely has to have. And so it defeats the purpose to be a man if you have no integrity. And so to be high value doesn't necessarily mean anything, but to be a valuable man means everything. And so in my thoughts.
What you got, Rilla?
I actually wanted to hear Alan on this one, man. He said Kevin Samuels started this conversation.
I've been trying to get my thoughts together. I think I agree with you. You know,
with me or with
you?
Okay.
Yeah, with you. Because when I think of like Michael Jordan, for instance, Michael Jordan was a terrible person, greatest basketball player of all time, right? So there's a distinction.
That's the big question, but okay.
And a rare man.
There's a distinction between how you are evaluated externally and the traits that you have as a person. So a high value man can be a man of quality, but not every quality man is high value.
Exactly. You
So
can be you could be a high value man and be a high quality man. Absolutely. You can be a high quality man, but you may not reach the pinnacles to become a high value man. And that's why quality is something that is more commonplace, because integrity and telling the truth all the time and laying down my coat over the puddle of water and all the stuff that women want men to be, there's plenty of men that can do that. There's plenty of Honda Accords out there. You can get one on any car lot, but you won't get a Lamborghini everywhere. You won't get a 1988 a Ferrari Testarossa, which is worth $1 million. The value of that car is high. It's not necessarily as safe, and it's integral, and its frame structure won't protect you in case you get into a collision. The thing, it won't protect you the way that other quality car would, but it's certainly more valuable. And it's certainly more rare. It's more difficult to become valuable than it is to become a man of quality. And so I just don't want us to conflate the two terms. But a lot of people want to mash them all together.
And if all this shit go up, what you think people gonna want?
Quality.
The truck. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want that pickup truck versus a goddamn Testarossa.
But isn't that the argument that Kevin Samuels had? Why do you women want this value when quality is what you should be paying attention to? You're passing up all the men in the room who's men of quality looking for the man of value, because when I drill you down and ask you these questions, you're identifying this man of value and didn't speak one time about the quality in a man.
That's facts.
I got a question though, real quick. Could you run those 5 qualifications down again, real quick?
Say again?
So could you run those qualifications for high value men down real quick?
The 6 things? So you got to make 10 grand a month or more, depending on where you're at. But no matter what state you are in America, you got to make 10 grand a month or more. You got to do it for 3 to 5 years. You got to be a part of a group of other high value men. You have to have a network. I mean, you have to be useful to the group, and you also have to be visible, LinkedIn level. You have to be able. No, you can't just claim it, and then you can't just be, just say, I got money, and nobody can verify where your money comes from.
Okay, so question. With those things just listed, I heard you say earlier.
Hold it down, y'all. Hold it down.
Hold on. Can we keep the chatter down, please?
Hey, chat just come on, man. Y'all chill.
Nah, but real quick though, based on those qualifications, I heard you say earlier that like somebody that sell drugs couldn't be high value, right? But if according to those things you just listed, since integrity is out of the window, apparently, according to y'all definition, right? A drug dealer, I know a few right off the top of my head that make more than 10,000. I know a few that are in a network of men making more than 10,000. I know a few of men like that fit every quality that you just named. So how can that drug dealer not be high value, and somebody that's in corporate world who's taking advantage of low wages in other countries and finessing and cutting throat to get to the top? How can that man be high value and that drug dealer not be? According to y'all definition.
Because that nigga ain't got no LinkedIn.
That's what I was gonna say.
So the drug dealer didn't get the LinkedIn.
How many drug dealers?
He don't got no business card.
Come on now.
That's real.
He don't got no business card.
Oh my God.
He cannot move because that man cannot move across the country freely.
Why he can't?
No, that's a lie.
They travel very.
Hold on, officer. You know better than that.
But to his point though, high value men exist.
That man cannot move or communicate freely.
No, I know.
But
Listen,
to his point,
What?
drug dealers and high value men existed way before LinkedIn was even around.
That
shit was even a concept.
Wait.
He brings up a good
Y'all
point.
talking to the? I grew up
He
South
makes a good
Central.
point.
Hey, Shannon, let me ask
I ain't gonna
this.
tell you
Look.
I was a D-boy myself. I'm not
what?
saying that, but I'm telling you I know.
Wait.
Exactly what you're talking
We got super chats right here. But
Okay.
look, besides the
Hey,
super chat.
big shout out to Manelabin Elephant.
Super chat.
Elephant.
We got a super chat.
You know.
Hey, shout out to Manelabin Elephant. Get that dude a round of applause.
Hey, Quest.
That nigga one of the biggest super chatters in the field.
We got a super chat.
Hey, before Manelaphin, hey, he been supporting. Every time he donate, it is red. I swear to God, it looked like my baby mama after. You know what I'm
High
talking about.
value.
Hey, look,
How you
but
pronounce
look,
his name, Logic?
Hey, but look, watch it. Hey, but Shannon, you're wrong. Dope boys do got a LinkedIn. It's called the Shade Room.
So, first of all, my name is Curtis. That's my real name. I think we conflate the issue. The bottom line is, it's what do the women want? We're getting on this moral high ground of, oh, well, you can make 6 figures, but you might not be a good person. That's irrelevant. The relevancy is what's the dating market? What do women want? That's the thing. And I think in the black community, we get on this thing of, okay, if he makes 6 figures, but he might not be a good person. Why does your mind automatically go there? This is what pretty women deal with. People see pretty women, and some of y'all pretty privileged women in here, y'all know what I'm talking about. And people automatically assume you're stuck up or you're dumb or whatever. It's like, it's unfair. So I think we got to get out this mindset. I side with Shannon. We don't like to measure things, right? We don't really like doing that. We like to kind of toe the line. And the bottom line is everything comes down to what the other person wants. If women say they want a 6-figure guy, then all that other shit y'all talking about is.
So you're saying that that a woman would want a man that makes 6 figures but not have integrity? No, I'm asking him.
Well, okay, I'm gonna put it like this.
Let him answer.
Okay.
Go ahead. No,
let me put it like this.
Now, before you answer, now I'm not saying
y'all hold it down
that you cannot have both. That's not what I'm saying. Right. I'm not saying that. But based on what was stated, integrity and character and morality was not mentioned.
But that's not the topic.
That is. We're talking about value. We're talking about high value.
Let me put it this way. So years ago, there was a speed dating.
Okay, before you do that,
yeah,
can you answer the question?
What's the question?
The question is, so you think that a woman would want $100,000 man that has no integrity?
Some, yeah. Some.
Okay, but
we go to the extreme.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about some. You know that we always speak in generalities.
Right.
Okay, so the average woman, you're saying, would prefer to have a man that makes $100,000, but he can have no integrity, no morale, and have no good characters.
But that's an extreme.
But value is about
that's
metrics. You can't measure.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking him. Right?
He answered.
No, I don't think so. I don't think women would prefer that, but I don't think that's
Yeah.
It's so much chatter and
hold it down.
audience,
It's good
y'all.
dialogue right here.
Hold it down.
Don't save it.
It's excellent dialogue right here. Hold it down, please.
I'm gonna say this. All right. So this is what I was getting to. There was a speed dating study done. It was like 10 years ago. I think it was in New York City. So what they did was they had a bunch of women and a bunch of men. They did not intermix the two. All right. So they had them fill out like a questionnaire of what they want. So all the women said, I want an honest man, I want a nice guy that loves his mom. All the guys said the stereotypical BS. I want a woman that's honest, all this stuff, right? But when they introduced the men and the women, all the women went for the neurosurgeons, the doctors, the attorneys, and all the guys went for the hot chicks. So that's the thing. It's human nature.
But you still haven't answered my question.
I answered it.
You did not answer my question.
So here's what I say on this. If you don't mind, here's what I say about this topic.
Yeah.
Fellas, you should be striving to be both of these things.
Facts.
You should be striving to be both of these things. Right? Like, at the end of the day, go after getting your money, but do it in an honorable way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't fucking hard. Nobody wants to date a rich dildo. You know what I'm saying? A rich fucking douchebag. Nobody wants that shit. And if she does, she's probably not good quality. You understand? She probably wasn't raised in the household with her mama and daddy, and she got some fucking issues, right? So strive to be the very best. Be both of these.
Hey, I'm gonna give him the mic back though. But hey, last call for alcohol. You got like 15 more minutes to get your cup full, and then if you got a little extra pot change, Mr. Elijah drank down Julio orange juice. All right.
Also, I want to say this to all the fellas in here.
Okay, your final thoughts.
All right. 99% of us will never be Anton, will never be multimillionaires, right? But listen, don't let Instagram and all that shit. Just get on your purpose, do your best, get whatever education training you need if you need to make more money, but don't feel invaluable if you don't make 6 figures, right? That's all I want to say. All right.
Nope. Let me just say one thing. The problem with most guys is that they spend too much time trying to impress women. most of these dudes can become millionaires because it's basic math. Real talk. It's basic math, but they spend too much time leading with their money in order to try to impress the women that ain't even about nothing with them, instead of focus on becoming the best version of themselves, which they then would attract. And you only got to get it right once. Why do people feel like they got to impress every single woman that they run into when the only person that you got to attract is the person that's for you? So too many people are trying to impress too many women, and that's why they so busy chasing the stuff instead of focusing on investing in you, and then you let your investments pay for the stuff, and then you can live how you want to, but don't let nobody tell you that you can't get that bag. Real talk.
Ladies, if you gotta cry, would you rather cry in a Porsche?
There you go.
Do you want to cry in the Porsche or the Hyundai? Pick a car to cry in.
I got a last point.
All right, we're going to close this topic off with Alan, and we'll move on to the next topic. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, so, I spend a lot of time interviewing women, and love your channel. Appreciate it. And part of the issue that I run into is that a lot of women think they're Michael Vick.
Really?
Let me explain. They think they run a 4.240. And because they run a 4.240, they don't have to come to practice.
Practice?
So,
we talking about practice?
Exactly. So I've been encouraging women to be more like Tom Brady. Tom Brady went in the 7th round of the draft, right? And because he understood he didn't run fast, he didn't jump high, he could improve other qualities of himself. So I think to Shannon's point, value is about metrics, right? Quality can't be measured, right? So you can be both, but we can't keep telling our kids they won first place if they didn't, right? So that's pretty much what it is. We can make that distinction, and it's okay. You could be a non-high value man and be a great man, and vice versa.
All right. You guys are just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Glad to have you guys in our presence. Make sure you get the likes up if you are watching via stream. Let's get a hand clap, man. That was the first topic.
Yeah, clap it up for yourselves. Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah. Ladies, y'all looking good out there in the chat. I see y'all chat ninja-lets.
Hey, JR, over here, we got a good looking one. And she.
Oh, okay. Who was that? A she critique over there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she bringing that smoke.
Hey, slide over down.
Chat ninja.
All right, she got a question for y'all.
Okay, go ahead. She got a question for the Kings. Go ahead.
Hey, fellas. So my question is, what definition of masculinity would you say men should adopt?
What was the last part?
What definition of masculinity do you think men should adopt?
Should adopt.
The same level of masculinity that black women walk around here with. Oh, man. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Ladies,
that was good, bro.
Chill out. Don't fuck me up. I'm just playing.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you trying to turn up.
Chill out.
You trying to turn all the way
You about to start throwing tomatoes at me. Come on now. Don't fuck
All right,
my
simmer
suit
down,
up,
simmer
nigga.
down, simmer down.
I'm just playing, lady. I'm just playing. That is a good question.
All right, anybody else want to answer that question?
Check.
One last one.
I think we make simple stuff difficult, right? So it's masculinity is not hard to define. I talk about man, husband, father, prophet, priest, and king. You uncover and unlock the characteristics and the traits of that, and that's the definition of masculinity that men should adopt. But we keep making simple stuff hard. It's not hard.
All right, there you go.
Great answer. Did
I answer your question?
Family feud.
Another one that all men should do that a lot of men aren't doing these days is assertiveness. So if you ever see a grown man talk to a young boy and the young boy gives him a handshake, oftentimes you hear men say, squeeze tighter.
Look me in the eye. Put your shoulders back. Put your chest up. Oftentimes, whenever I'm meeting a young man, I can tell if his dad's around. I can tell if I could when whether it's at a church event or whether it's at a public event. When I meet the son, that's typically 8 to 14 years old, I can tell if dad's around based on the handshake that he gives. And then if he continues in that soft, fishy handshake, I can pretty much tell where his path is going to be later on. One of the masculinity traits of the many that there are that most men should adopt and that we should really instill in the young men today. I'm not talking about aggressiveness, right? But I am talking about assertiveness. There's a lot of young men who aren't assertive. They're very meek. They won't look you in the eye. And that stuff will transcend into their dating world. It'll transcend into how they get hired. It'll let them be more agreeable when it comes to salaries in their jobs. They'll be quicker to quit. They'll be quicker to give up stuff because they won't be able to battle in day-to-day life. So young men particularly, need to be a little bit more assertive than they have been in the last couple years.
There you go, Shan.
I would add to that and say that the men need to have a plan. Right? A man needs to have a plan of where it is that he wants to go. And he needs to have a particular step process and how he's going to get to that particular goal. I see and talk to young dudes all the time that don't have a plan and where it is that they want to go. And more oftentimes it's because they don't have a mentor. They're not used to knowing what that looks like, right? But the characteristic for me as masculinity, I would say having a plan, because if you're the provider and the protector, then you should be the one that knows where to go. And if you know where to go and you know how to get there, then the woman is easier to follow, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one of the main things, just to echo what both of y'all said, man, I think the main thing missing with men is confidence. Most men walk around trying to prove something to women. That's just what it is.
Say it again, Trill.
Most men walk around trying to prove something to women instead of coming into it with a solid plan that a woman is going to jump on board with. They get with a woman, and I do everything to please her. I want to make her happy. I want to do this. I want to go get money for her. I want to drive a car for her. I want to get a nice paying job so I can attract women. Like, instead of just doing those things because you want to do those things. And I think that's what's missing. I say it all the time. Like, if women didn't mind broke men, most men would be happily broke. And that right there is part of the problem. Going back to the structure that he's talking about, going back to the assertiveness that he's talking about. Just because you don't agree with what it is that I'm trying to do doesn't mean that I should bend or I should adjust the track that I'm on appease you. And I feel like most men do that, especially young ones. Like, until you get older and you done ran into, a couple hurdles and you done lost a lot of money to women in terms of relationships going bad, then it's like, okay, now I'm going to move how I want to move. But I think if men were to adapt that type of thinking early, then they would avoid a lot of those mistakes and get to the path quicker that they're trying to get to. So confidence is everything.
Yeah, I would have to second what everybody said on here. I would add the most dangerous type of man is a man without a purpose. And what I've seen just throughout the years is that a man without a purpose always chases after a woman because it's easier than to look at life and then actually try to make something of yourself. So a man on a purpose is valuable. He has something to offer. He can build, he can grow, he has a destination, he has something he's working towards. And so a man with no purpose is always the most dangerous man because he's willing to do anything to find self-worth and self-value. So
yeah, I'll add to that and just say boys react, men respond. Right.
Say it again. You got to simmer a little bit.
Yeah.
Say it louder.
Yeah. Men respond, and what I mean by that is, like, especially nowadays, a lot of us have become pseudo-masculine. We become emotional. Right. And an emotional man is dangerous because you're mixing testosterone with emotion. Right. So, a man should be able to process the information given to him and respond accordingly as opposed to react, right? Reactionary people are insecure people. So, yeah, respond.
Okay. It seems like the guys feeling that statement, man. Appreciate it. Again, if you guys just tuned in, welcome to King Talks. Make sure we get them likes up if you are watching via stream.
Let's get a hand clap, man. We're going to move on to our next topic.
Let's get it.
The gentlemen on fire today. I appreciate the people that have spoken in the audience. You guys are the brave ones. We're going to take some more questions from the audience on the back end of this one. So if you are brave, step to the mic. Don't be afraid. Cam up. Cam up. Yeah. Do we have any single ladies in the house?
Hey, we got a brave soda since you want to cam up, though. Huh? Ladies, cam up, man. Look at all these dudes on here.
No, raise your hand, single ladies.
They are asking again. Are there any single ladies in the house?
Are there any single ladies in the house?
I'm accepting applications. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Not high value, but I'm valuable though.
All right. So one of the.
So based on
80K good credit.
A previous question about what form of masculinity men should have, I heard one of the statements was assertiveness. Now my question to you is, do you think men know the difference between being assertive and aggressive? And if so, what's the difference?
I would say assertive is based on confidence, and then aggressiveness is based on emotion. And so when you have a confident man, he's assertive because he's confident in what he's doing. He's purposeful in his actions and his words. He thinks things through. And then, of course, like we said earlier, aggression is based on a sense of recklessness, a knee-jerk reaction. It's based on uncontrolled and undisciplined emotion. And so that's the problem, in society today when we talk about men, that aggression is coming from a lack of discipline and a lack of self-control.
I would say, you say, do they know the difference?
Right, especially when in relation to women. You think, especially in relation to other women, do they know how to be assertive with a woman versus being aggressive?
I would say no if they don't have leadership in front of them, right? Because that's aggressive and assertiveness is a learned quality, I would say. Correct. Because, for example, for myself, I didn't grow up with a dad, right? So I was very emotional, like in different responses that I would do. But when I pledged, right, like I had all of these dudes around me that would kind of give me an understanding of how to be assertive, as opposed to just responding because I didn't like a situation, right? And so most right now in Black America, basically, they're raised by single mothers, right? And so if you're raised by a single mother, typically you're not going to be privileged enough to understand what the assertiveness looks like from a male's perspective, right? And so to answer your question, I would say that most men don't have it because it's a learned quality from another man.
Humble Dad, I could tell you used to be a rapper, man.
Why you do that, bro?
I could tell. You see how he hold that mic? Hold the mic. You see how he hold that mic and cuff me.
I would just
2
like
Chainz.
Can
Why
each
you
of
do
you, well, I don't know if every one of you need to, but especially I would like to hear Shannon as well, to define the difference between the aggressive and assertive, just so it can be clarified what that definition or what that actually looks like.
Well, I'm gonna just parrot what they said. So aggression is reacting, whereas assertiveness is responding. So it does take time. It does take some. It takes some. What word am I looking for, really? It takes some maturity for somebody to be able to respond to a thing. Say, for instance, because whenever you react, you're letting somebody else control everything that you're doing. And so, I hear what he said. He said most men. I believe it's most young men. I believe it's most. I want to add the young part. Most young men, especially today, do not know how to not be aggressive because all they know is how to react to things. And so, do men know the difference between it? Most mature, older men do. And this is one of the reasons why I advocate for young men to concentrate on becoming better versions of themselves. I love how Anton says that, because they need to be better husbands. I'm twice married, twice divorced. I failed my marriages twice. And I learned a lot of stuff later on that I wish I would have known when I was younger. But I didn't know it because I didn't have enough time to be the guy that I needed to be and to learn the things that I needed to know. And so if you are an older man, if you are a little bit more mature, I would say 31, 32, you start getting into the land of wisdom. And everybody has knowledge, but wisdom protects knowledge. And so without that part, then assertiveness is gonna look like aggression to a 22-year-old. But then if you're out there trying to get married at 21, 22 years old, and then your wife says something crazy, now you got holes in the drywall, you're breaking up your car. This is where we see all the videos of somebody getting ran over. That's a lot of young people problems. You see all of that stuff, that's a lot of young people problems.
my God!
So
let me jump in
the
real
answer
quick.
is the same way. Yes, officer.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick, brother.
You outside. I knew you summoned
See how you
him.
do me?
See how he asserted himself.
See how you do me?
He asserted himself.
He got assertive real quick.
I was trying to save the audience. So I would say one of the dangerous things about being aggressive is that we've created a society that accepts it, right? So we started to condone it. It's become normalized. So I think when things become normalized, people don't see a reason to actually change it. And so I think that's probably one of the most dangerous things about aggressive men. It's actually considered to be masculine now. We're starting to define masculinity through how aggressive a man is. And it made me think about that when you stated that it's only young men, but in actuality, it's all ages of men. If we're talking about black men, just in general, there's a failed distinction between being assertive, having self-control over emotions, and then being lost in said emotions. And so a lot of reckless behavior that a lot of men commit is because they have no control. And they've blurred the lines between being assertive, because being assertive sometimes can also look like weakness to some people. When in fact, you're being patient, you're being understanding, you're trying to observe a situation so that you can so you can respond and not react. I think that we've created a comfort in the idea that you're not a man unless you are aggressive. Someone says something to you, and then now you got to prove your manhood by now I gotta raise my voice, right? Now I have to try to one up on you simply because you said something about my mama, right? Or, your girl told you to go check somebody at the store because they're rude to you. And so being assertive will be, hey, sir, the way you spoke to my lady was a little rude. It was unprofessional. But what's expected of you as a black man is to go over there and knock him over the head. And so again, we've just gotten so comfortable in the idea that aggression is the proper form of actually handling situations instead of being assertive. So in my personal opinion, I believe we have to change the idea and then also look at reteaching the value of being assertive, being confident. And being assertive doesn't mean you have to be physical, doesn't mean you have to be loud, doesn't mean you have to be violent, because those things don't define what a man actually is.
So that reminds me of the movie John Q. Remember the movie John Q with Denzel Washington? And that pinnacle moment when he was on the phone with his wife, and she said, "Do something."
Right.
And hung up in his face.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that, I agree with y'all saying for the most part, but I just hate the negative connotation that y'all attaching to being aggressive. I feel like being aggressive doesn't necessarily just automatically equate to recklessness. Sometimes aggression is calculated in certain environments. I mean, we are black men. Let's just call a spade, and a lot of us don't grow up in the, best environments, if we're gonna keep it honest. So sometimes you have to showcase aggression to get to a certain goal that you're trying to get to. Now, that doesn't mean I'm out of control. That just means I understand the landscape and I understand what it's gonna take to get the goal that I'm trying to get accomplished. So again, that's the only part that I disagree with y'all on, in terms of it just being a negative connotation. Sometimes aggression is calculated. Sometimes, especially in sports, if I'm on defense in football or basketball, whatever, if I'm on defense, I'm gonna be aggressive to showcase the fact that, I'm gonna dictate the way this game is played. And the fact that I've showed aggression is gonna adjust how you play. Because now you know that I can't just do what I want out here because there's gonna be consequences for it. So again, all aggressiveness is not reckless. Sometimes it's controlled, and we have to admit to that. We can't just tie it all to it just being reckless. That's the only part that I disagree with y'all on.
Trill, isn't the best, like say for instance you got a defensive back that's being real aggressive, isn't the best opponent the player that sees that aggression and ignores it? Because he's in control of what the game is. Like what you said was sometimes his aggression is going to control the other player. But isn't the best players the ones that are not affected by that?
I would say yes, but I feel like those players are a minority. I feel like most people who see aggression, because let's just be honest, most men are not confrontational. Let's just call that what it is. I've literally seen men get disrespected on, in person, on platforms, on whatever, and just let it rock. They don't say nothing to it. So again, I feel like that type of person that you're talking about, that's just gonna see the aggression. Okay, I ain't fazed by that. I'm good. That is a minority. Most people see aggression and they tend to go around it, or they tend to go away from it because I don't want to deal with direct confrontation. So being aggressive, especially in the field that I'm talking about, can be effective in sports. If we just gonna be honest, and in life.
Not just sports. I mean, think about it, officer.
Right.
In your field.
Right.
Additionally, mine, logic, all the veterans. In fact, real quick, veterans, if you in here, raise your hand.
Shout out to the veterans.
Man, salute to the veterans.
Salute to all y'all, right? But them as well.
Yes, sir.
Right? We work in fields where, yes, we have to be assertive, but a lot of it is we have to be aggressive, especially depending on what field you worked in, right? Especially you as an officer, depending on if you're a traffic ticket cop type dude or if you really in the field with that shit, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of times that may translate or may not translate when you come home to the household and kids and things of that nature, right? So we have to be extremely fucking disciplined, right, in order to be able to flip that switch from aggression to assertiveness.
But you just said it though. You said discipline. And a lot of times when we're actually talking about reality, a lot of men who are using aggression are not disciplined. And so the young lady who came up here earlier, she said, what's the distinction, what's the difference between aggressiveness towards women and then being assertive? Right. And again, like you just pointed out, aggression is good anytime it's controlled, anytime there's discipline involved. A lot of times the issue with people who are aggressive have lost control, right? They lack the discipline. When you lack the discipline, you lack the self-control, the aggression becomes counterproductive, becomes unhealthy, and it becomes unsafe for the person that you're actually taking that aggression out on, whether that person, male or female, or that woman. We're talking about people who are reckless with their aggression. What you guys are talking about are men who are disciplined and know when to actually apply a level of aggression to get a task done. And that's different because that comes with maturity, it comes with wisdom. Facts, rules of engagement. But we're talking about men who don't have that discipline, they have no self-control, and in their actions within itself are self-inflicting, right?
Hey, JR, my brother Rashawn Ali got a question for Trill.
What's going on, brother? You've been on King Talk before, man. Ate at the table. Ali, what's going on, brother? What you got for us?
Peace. First of all, y'all look handsome up here, man. All y'all look beautiful up here.
Peace to the guys. Peace to the guys.
Hey, yo,
Peace to the guys. Peace to the guys.
Logic, don't play. Logic, don't play. We don't play those games over here. Listen. Hey, yo, listen. We don't play those games over here. Hey, yo, listen. Trills, let me ask you a question. How do you, it's going to be one directly for Trill because it's something that you said, but I'm going to give it to the panel. How do you determine, right, when you mentioned somebody online and they, to everybody else, it feel like he's being disrespected. And, you know, as you say, those minority of men, how do you determine if this man is just a minority or you looking at him as some sucker because he ain't about to be in no argument with internet thugs. You know, hey, people gonna try to troll you. So do you respond at everything that someone say, or do you know people got eating they G-Unit cookies because they online? They know you can't do nothing to them, right? So how do you determine that and the distinction? And then y'all said, I think y'all was explaining discipline or like a control aggression. It sound like more of the definition of assertiveness. So as the sister was saying, because I don't think it was like a clear distinction of or representation of really what assertiveness it really is, because it sounds like when y'all talking about control aggression, that fits the definition of assertiveness. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and my response to that would be, in terms of the aggression that I was speaking about. I don't feel like it's assertiveness because what I mean by sometimes you got to make an example out of somebody for them to know that they cannot play with you. And not only for them, because to be honest, the example I'm making is not for you. It's for everybody watching, right? So again, when I get to speaking about getting a goal accomplished, right? Sometimes I have to, and again, we see it in the corporate world. I ain't just talking about in the hood, physical, beating somebody up, whatever the case may be. We see it in the corporate world. Sometimes somebody will make a small mistake in finances or whatever the case may be, and the boss will ride their ass crazy. And it's not just for you. I'm not embarrassing you in this big ass meeting just to embarrass you. I'm setting the example. Everybody in this room need to be on your toes because I want to get a certain thing accomplished. So again, I am being aggressive towards you. I am saying you a terrible worker. I'm saying that you a dumbass. You stupid. You should have looked over that more time than you did. But again, it's controlled. My God. It's controlled because I'm trying to get everybody in the room to know that shit is not acceptable. So that's what I mean when I say that. What was the other question?
And then for the panel, the clear distinction between assertiveness and then instead of like the definition y'all was given a controlled discipline, that's more fit when we look up the definition of assertiveness. Y'all was actually explaining assertiveness, not aggression. Aggression, I don't want to bring out my phone, but they made a great distinction. They said assertiveness is when a person respects the opinions of others, but is straightforward and is confident in his own opinion. And a person that's aggressive don't respect the opinions of others, and they think that their opinion is absolutely correct.
But I mean, sometimes their opinion is absolutely correct. Sometimes the people around them in the same room that I'm talking about don't know better. And I'll go back right to that example that I just gave. If I'm the VP, I'm privy to more information than the accountant one, than the secretary, than whoever the case may be. So yeah, I see the long play. So again, the example I'm making is for a reason. I'm trying to get to a goal that y'all cannot see. Y'all coming in here to get y'all $15 an hour and go home. I'm trying to grow this brand and get us up that Fortune 500, whatever the case may be. I'm looking down the line. So again, sometimes aggression is necessary to make an example, to get everybody in line, to get to the goal that I'm trying to accomplish because I see it and y'all don't. That's what I mean by that.
Trill done rolled a lot of people up and got them fired.
let me say this. I think
get y'all shit together, man.
I think
upper management.
I think he brought up a good point, but we did make a distinction. On one end you have one that is emotional. It's an emotional response, which is aggression. It's a response that wasn't thought out of, right? It's a reaction. When you have someone that is on the flip side, when you have someone that's assertive, it's someone who can actually project their will. They can project their authority on another person respectfully.
That's not all the time. And I hate to cut you off.
Well, I mean, I ain't finished.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But go ahead.
You're right.
Go ahead.
I yield.
No. I want to hear what you got to say.
So,
but what I was saying was
that was good. You got to give me props on that one.
You good, brother. You good.
You got to give it to him.
But I know what you about to say. No, I was joking. You good, boss. You good. Now that's what being assertive looks like. I want to show you guys as a demonstration.
Oh no, we're not doing.
All right, pipe down.
But there was no aggression needed. Being assertive is you're being confident, you're being respectful, but at the same time you're still getting your will across to the other person. The aggression is anger, it's emotion. There was no anger here, right? So again, I think the difference is it can look differently, but the respect is there, the confidence is there, the honesty, the transparency, but you're still projecting your desire on the outcome. You still get the outcome that you desired without having to use any type of violence, without having to belittle somebody, what's your thoughts?
Ironically, right? This shit wasn't even fucking planned. But ironically, do you see how I yielded? He was fucking right. And I yielded. How often does that shit happen in our relationships, in our households? When our husbands, boyfriends, things of that nature, they assert themselves, do you yield? Y'all don't have to answer. Damn, Nurse Fancy. I just said y'all ain't had to answer. Shit.
Masculine energy.
There you go. All right. But being serious.
She's been aggressive.
Ladies, do you yield?
Facts.
Ladies, do you yield when your husbands and your boyfriends and things of that nature are asserting themselves, clearly
Nope.
asserting themselves without aggression?
Nope.
I
Go
got
ahead.
a super chat over here.
But it was.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But she
I
was
got a super
talking.
chat.
I think she was asking the question as it relates to women specifically, right? So I would say that the difference between being aggressive and assertive in a relationship goes back to when I was telling you need to have a plan. Like, how is this relationship going to be ran? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to communicate in a way that's effective? Like, what does that look like in the beginning, right? There should be some questions and answers that should be taking place, as opposed to with most relationships, it is a matter of responding when a situation occurs, right? Like, how are we gonna handle the kids, right? That conversation don't happen until a kid act up. Right? So now you're being reactionary, and now there's a conversation or a disagreement or an argument because both parties have not discussed how we should handle this child. Whereas if it had happened before, the conversation has said, well, I believe in spankings. No, I don't believe in spankings. I believe in, reward systems and things of that nature. Then there would be less conflict. And so therefore, if you are being assertive, men, then you have a plan and you're dialoguing with the person that you plan on being with the rest of your life, as opposed to saying, I'm gonna wait till I'm married to figure out what we need to do, which would be a part of being reactionary, which is a part of the aggressiveness that come to play.
I got a super chat over here.
So just kind of wanted to just make a comment about the conversation y'all was having about being aggressive versus being assertive and having discipline. I think a perfect example of that was when Will Smith walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock. Now, I think a lot of people think that they would have responded and jumped on Will Smith for slapping him. But I think Chris Rock, he did show discipline in not reacting to.
He needed to be aggressive as fuck at that moment.
That's a fact.
And this is exactly what Trill's point was.
But I think in the long run, Chris Rock would have did more damage to himself and us as the black people than jumping on Will Smith in that instance right there.
Hey.
If we want to uplift people, if we want to uplift the black community, we need to teach that discipline and long-term thinking versus short-term thinking.
That's fair.
In that moment.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, I didn't say I was smart.
I think that was a phenomenal super chat.
I didn't say I was smart. Hey, fellas, real quick. Can I ask the fellas that how would each one of you, and let's be quick because we got another super chat over here. How would you have reacted, fellas, on the panel? I just told you what I'm doing. I'm catching the charge. But how is everybody on the panel reacting? And I'm not saying that it's the right answer. But
It would have been furniture moving up there.
You feel me?
Right there on live TV. You got to be crazy. I'm sitting in this audience with my wife, my kids, my mama's watching this. A grown man walk on the stage and slap me in front of millions of people. And I'm just supposed to take that to the chin for the greater good of the black community. No.
At half the time, don't even give a fuck about it.
It's going to be furniture moving because, again, I have to be aggressive and set the example as to what the consequences of something like that should be. So that's going to happen way less likely on the back end because of the example that I set.
Definitely would have had to have a situation take place because think about it. If you look at it, the situation happened again to Dave Chappelle, right? An individual felt like because they could, Will Smith could go up and slap Chris Rock, then another person felt like they could do the same thing and slap Dave Chappelle. But what happened to the individual with Dave Chappelle?
Hold it down.
There was aggressiveness.
Simmer down, crowd.
That took place.
A lot of aggressiveness.
Right? As opposed to the other situation where there was no aggressiveness. So it is very important that you recognize that aggressiveness doesn't mean that what is it? Assertiveness doesn't mean that you are a coward or a punk. That's not what that means. but there are times that you need to be aggressive. You don't want nobody to violate you or violate your anybody in your family. So why would you say if somebody came into your house, this is what you're basically saying, somebody came into your house.
Turn their music up out loud, out back in your goddamn parking lot. Chat ninjas. Go ahead, humble.
So basically what they saying, Quest, is that you was wrong.
Exactly.
They're saying that you should have allowed the music to continue to play. You should have slept through the music, right? Because your baby was sleeping, and you shouldn't have walked outside to tell them, listen, I'm finna whoop all y'all ass if y'all don't go ahead and turn off this music, right? If you would not have done that, they would have continued that day in and day out. Like, there are times that you got to be aggressive and set the tone for what's going to take place. So it would have been a problem in my scenario.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speak on it. To me, I think it was more so of a controlled environment. So I think that like we as men, we have to understand what's happening at all times. Me personally, I've never been caught off guard and slapped or hit. So I'm always keeping my head on a swivel, and Chicago really can really speak to that, especially being in Chicago. You know, how we move, we always just reading situations and just trying to be aware. So if it was me in that situation, I probably went on ahead and retaliated, because it's just some things you just got to stand on. You know, some shit just got to happen. You got to live with it. I think being a man, you have to make that decision. And even if it's some consequences behind it, if you felt in your right mind that it was the right decision, you just stand on it and deal with the consequences. But just understand that when you make that decision and that consequence come, you just live with it. We don't dwell on it. So when somebody approaches you and says, look, I feel real confident in what I did. I did the right thing. So whether you see it or not, in my head, I did the right thing. All you got to do is just make it make sense to you for the most part. And it don't apply to everything, but in a situation like that, again, a controlled environment, it can easily be like, hey, I was defending myself. But he should have never really got that close, because I'm all about personal space. Anybody that's coming within a certain amount of coming aggressive, you just got to peep that walk. He walked up there, you about to tell a joke? Yeah, all right. Hey, even if he bigger than you still got to go down with a fight, because the one thing, yeah, you
take
gonna
your
say, at least I
man,
swung on that motherfucker, right? So that's just me.
You know,
you up? No. We going right on down the line. Ain't no passing.
I'm gonna put it like this.
Nope.
If a regular dude smack me, it's gonna be a problem. If Will Smith smack me, I'm suing for $200 million.
Do that after you slap him back. After you knock his ass out.
You guys know my perspective is a little different, right? Because I see the outcomes of irrational behavior or people making aggressive decisions. I think one of the biggest problems that I've seen just in general, and we've seen it all through the news, is too many times a lot of our young men, a lot of our brothers, what we end up doing is we end up using permanent methods to address temporary problems, and all in the name of pride, ego. At the awards show, he's at work. Right. And I think he was calculating in his mind, okay, what does this look like? He's looking at the bigger picture. Earlier we talked about as men, what does it mean to be mature men, to be wise men? Me personally, how I would have handled the situation, I would have handled it like Chris Rock did. I would have caught him behind stage and gave him the business, but I wouldn't have done it in front of the people.
In that moment.
In that moment. And I think when we talk about controlled aggression, when we talk about being assertive, Chris Rock handled it flawlessly. And I think he did take one for the team. He understands the power of image, the power of the black image at that. What would it have looked like? Two black men, wealthy men, beating each other up on a national world stage. It would have been embarrassing. It would have been embarrassing. But he would have definitely got bodied in the back though, behind the curtain.
Facts.
Facts.
But that's not what Chris Rock did, though.
And Chris Rock didn't do that.
No,
But Chris Rock didn't do that.
But here's what else he didn't do, because when the police showed up, Chris Rock took another L. What did he say? He's like, "Nah, I don't want to press charges." So again, we look at it as the reality of the situation, and JR's, you said it clearly, because I've interviewed a lot of brothers who've done things off of the strength of their pride and know they're about to spend the rest of their life in prison. And so they, in the moment, didn't think it through. At the end of the day, you can only control your actions. You can't control the consequences. And so we have to be mindful as men, how quickly our life can be taken and how fragile our freedom is in this country. And so I think, like anything else, at the end of the day, the discipline is absolute. I think he looked at the totality of the circumstances in the moment, and I believe he made the right decision. I'm all for putting hands on people. I've done it a lot. But it gotta be.
Some of y'all need hands put on you.
Some people need their hands, but you got to do it within reason, and so sometimes the best apology is the one you gotta put on somebody. So that's my thoughts.
I thought I was gonna be the only one, but I'm with Officer Daly.
Thank you, sir.
I thought I was gonna be the only one. So listen, my 30-year-old version would have moved furniture, as you guys said. Today, I would have done what Chris Rock did. I used to be a member of the Academy. I've been to the Oscars. I've been to the Grammys. I've been to the Source Awards. And that environment, you guys got to understand, if anybody in here has ever been to those awards before, when you go to those awards, it's a different, the aura in the room is different. You ain't fighting in a tux like that. And another thing is, Will and Chris were friends. So imagine my 50-year-old self up in the Oscars hosting in Chicago Rilla, my friend. I make a joke about his wife, and he comes up and he smacks me. I'm not. This Chicago. I'm not scrapping. Me and my friend come do that, and I'm thinking he's coming up. I'm not gonna just instantly jump to some hood shit scrapping with Chicago at the 50-year-old version of Shannon. Now I play the long game. August 6, 1945. Hiroshima was bombed by the United States. A lot of people was upset with Japan as to why they didn't respond to their Hiroshima getting bombed. But they did. They came and bought everything in America over the next 50 years. They own everything. They bought Motown. They came in, they bought you wonder who owns all the skyscrapers in downtown LA, in downtown Atlanta? Who owns that building? A lot of them is owned by the Japanese. They played an economical war game. They say, we're not gonna bomb by just reacting. We're gonna respond by getting economically advantaged in the United States. And so sometimes for me, like Chris and like my man Daly here, we're gonna play the long game. I can scrap with you and then win a $2 million award, or I can respond and get $100 million out of you over the next 10 years. And I think that's what Chris is getting ready to do.
So you think that's what he's getting ready to do?
Yeah, a lot of because he was offered $20 million, a check for $20 million.
Okay.
But I think he's gonna shoot for the 100.
All right, we got Island Girl Q. Y'all give it up for Island Girl Q. Chat Ninjas. Number one troll. Either him or Scan Likely. I don't know.
I'm not.
One of
This
the
is
two.
not a troll question. Welcome, bearded men. What's up, question, Rilla? But
with this shit.
that's bullshit. It's okay. It's struggle beard season. It's okay. Winter is coming. But this is really an answer for the question for the ladies, right? What are 5 qualities should women look for in a husband? I know some of you on the panel are husbands, triple divorce.
Wow.
Pull up on me. Pull up.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
But I just
Ain't
want
nobody got time for
us
that.
ladies
Hello,
need to know what to
motherfucker.
look for, right, ladies? A lot of beautiful ladies tonight. We just want quick answers. Quick answers. What are 5 qualities that women should look for today in a husband?
Let me take your mic.
Go ahead, really.
I thought you was answering. I was about to say. So I think one of the first quality, again, I go back to man, husband, father, prophet, priest, king. And the reason why I talk about that, because a man's essential purpose is to protect and provide for his family. So the first thing you're looking for is protection. Second thing you're going to look for is provision. Part of that provision is your covering, your spiritual covering, not just your financial in your home, but your spiritual covering. So that's what I would say one of the first things that you start looking for in a dude.
I would say a proven track record of success. I think, again, we talk a lot of in terms of this space about women submitting and things of that nature, but to be honest, a lot of men don't have a resume worth submitting to. And that's just reality.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's honest.
Hello,
You know what I'm saying? So again, accountability has to be taken on that end. When she's looking for a man to submit to, she should be looking at your resume. Okay, what did you actually accomplish in life? How were you living in life? Do you have 3 roommates, or do you have your own place? Did you graduate college, or did you drop out sophomore year and then just get a regular job? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? So what did you finish? What does your resume say? So as a man, that's what you should be, that's what you should be bringing to a woman. And as a woman, that's what you should be looking for. It shouldn't be based on, okay, well, he has the potential to do this, or I could possibly see him one day getting there. No, look at his resume. What has he finished? What has he accomplished? What type of structure are you walking into? That's what you should be looking for.
We get one more guy, then we'll go to Rilla for that final answer. Anybody else want to speak?
I think I got an unorthodox one.
So right, go ahead.
I just did a show.
Hey, Shan.
Called.
You had enough mic time.
I'm gonna be brief so that you can. I'm gonna be brief so you can.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool. I just want to just kind of like make it a little bit.
I think an unorthodox one is.
Where Logic at with the timer? He good with the timer.
I think I would say a man that can withhold sex, meaning that he doesn't have to have sex. Okay.
Boo this man. Boo him. I'm just playing. Hey, don't boo humble dad. Don't boo humble dad.
All right.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Nah, don't boo my dog. Yeah,
what I'm saying is, women, you really give it up kind of easy, right? Some of y'all, not all of y'all, right? Right? So if the man can still be with you without sex, right, and he be consistent in how he treats you and how he values you, that's something that you should look forward to. Because if he is just saying, I'm requiring you to have sex with me because I do X, Y, and Z for you, then that should be, say what? Okay. So yes, it's unorthodox to you because it may be something that you haven't thought of before. But just because you give up sex to a dude don't mean he committed to you. So that's why I'm saying that you should think about, am I going to give this dude sex to keep him? Or am I actually in love with him and he's in love with me? Is this the dude that I plan on spending the rest of my life with? That is what I'm talking about.
Humble dad for the ladies tonight.
Humble dad, blink twice if you need help.
Humble dad, you hear Shan?
Blink twice if you need help.
Listen, I stand on mine, bro.
Blink twice if you need. That's all I'm saying. Get out.
All right, go ahead, Rilla. Take us home, man, with that first one. First question. Go ahead. I don't know these shit, nigga.
I already answered. You talking about what he would did to Will Smith?
He didn't answer the question about the Will Smith thing.
The Will Smith question. Oh, man, yeah, I fell out and got that money, man. He'd have slapped me. I'd have just fell out.
You would have fell out.
My neck, my back, and my back. Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
He want that long money.
He
long money.
Hey, look, real
long
talk.
Money.
Hypothetically, it's easy to say what we
Hey,
do,
keep it
right?
1,000 wild, Rilla.
No, I'm dead ass. Look, on the street, yeah, all the
Made it
furniture
sim
in the
host
world
up. Go
moves.
ahead.
This ain't McDonald's, man. This ain't no crew chief working and fighting the fry guy or something.
Workers comp. Workers comp. That's workers comp right there.
I don't know.
Yeah, you hit me
That
on
big
the job.
coochie energy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he slapped me. I'm falling out, man.
I fell out. A couple of y'all I'm calling cap on. Me and Trill just said, that instinct. I know because we sitting up here with microphones on the show and all this cool
Yeah.
shit. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? We
Maybe
got
they
time
not
to think,
aggressive.
be very deliberate about our answer. Da 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 da. But that instinct gonna kick in. That's part of the reasons why you at where you're at right now. Because you got instinct.
She gonna look at you differently. You walk home getting slapped.
You speaking? But
She
you
gonna
speaking
she
from
gonna
a-
look at you differently. You walk
That's
home
a
after
young
getting slapped.
instinct.
No, she ain't.
See, that's a young instinct. That's what
Right.
I'm trying to say. That's why I told you 20 years ago, my 30-year-old self would have been with you young 30-year-old brothers.
I'm about to be 40.
Huh? So, but my 50-year-old self, the instincts, you start to, things are calculated differently when you get to a certain age.
Right.
You got a
know
lot
what I'm
to
saying?
lose. You got
And
more
so
to
when,
lose.
so I get it. When I'm 30 and I'm hot, and it doesn't matter. Somebody come hit me. It's like, okay, let's get down. But at 50 years old,
Too loud.
Chris Rock, I think, is 56, and the homie, this is not some stranger. See, it's almost like you guys are answering as if you were just standing in line.
A random nigga did this to you.
At Target and shit,
Yeah,
and somebody came and smacked you. This is my friend walking up here. So my friend is coming up, and I just busted a joke. I've known him for 20 years.
If I know General Logic 15 years, this nigga walk up on this stage and slap me, bitch is gonna become furniture moving.
Yeah, all right.
No. I got a question. I just got one question. Because I think that a lot of women always ask, what are the things that they should look for in a man or a husband, right? But I say that a lot of women probably already had that in their life. They just don't want them because it's their friend.
Say that again.
So my question.
Say that again, please.
I think that a lot of women that are looking for a husband, their husband is in the friend zone.
That's a fact.
Real talk. So then the question then becomes, how come they don't want the guy that's the best for them, but they always chase the guy that just want to bust them down?
Let me jump in real quick. Let me jump in on that real quick.
No, we're going. We can get a couple guys, and then we gotta go ahead and bring it to a close. So just a couple guys. Go ahead.
Oh no. You want me to go? Yeah. Go. Oh shit. Okay. You said why does where'd he go? Yeah. You said why does the nice guy get put in the friend zone?
Hey, hold it down. Hold on,
crowd. Hold on. We almost through there, y'all. We almost through in there. Security. Wheezy, baby.
Not why is he in the friend zone? Because we know why he's in the friend zone, right? No, he got money. Sometimes he got money. Sometimes he doing all right, right?
Because he's born.
But a lot of times they looking for this criteria, right? He love God. He, whatever. All of these different boxes that he need to check. But a lot of times the guy that's best for them, because a lot of women don't qualify for the guy that Trill just described.
Facts.
Let's just be real. Because that guy can pick who he want. That guy can have whatever he want, whenever he want it, and he gonna be fine for the rest of his life, right? So when we talking about qualifications, because Quest say it all the time. Quest say, do you qualify for that guy, right? Just because you want him don't mean that you ready for that.
Right.
So the question then becomes, when you start determining what a woman qualifies for, more often than not, that guy is already in her network. So why don't she look at him?
She's not sexually attracted. She's not sexually attracted to him. And that is a thing that plagues the black community particularly.
Yo, y'all hold it down. Hold on,
y'all. Simmer down, y'all. Simmer down.
Go ahead, Shan.
No, that's it. That's end of sentence. That's the statement. The answer is the reason why the women, because Ali got
Billy,
cute.
hold on. Security.
Oh, chill out,
Security.
bro.
Security.
Chill.
Hey, right there, security. Right there.
Chill,
yeah.
dude.
God damn.
Well, let me add a little bit more context, right? Because y'all been talking about it all night, right? Y'all defined and y'all cycled through what a high value man is, but it ain't a whole lot of them that fit every single piece of criteria. And it don't mean that a dude is not a good dude just because he don't fit all of that criteria, right? No. I'm just gonna ask the question. Just in general, why do women? I guess it's a two-part question. Why?
Bro, we heard you 40 times. Ask the women. We got you, brother. We got you. We gonna ask the women.
Why do women feel as though they qualify for the best guy? And then B, why do they ignore the guy that's best for them that's in their network?
So I'm not a woman, but I'm gonna try to answer it because I interview women, right? So what a lot of my interviewees say is that because women are more sexually selective.
Fam, y'all have got to relax, please and thank you. Relax.
So because women are more sexually selective than men, typically women have sexual access to high value men. So because they can sleep with one, they think they qualify for one. That's what happens sometimes. But on the flip side, I think the reason men get friend zoned is because they prioritize women over their purpose. And typically, if you're going to lead a woman, you have to be following something larger than yourself. So men who deprioritize their garden to chase Eve always lose, right? So again, I'm not a woman, but I interview women.
Hey,
so
listen, say that again. Say that again about Adam and.
Oh no, I said if you neglect your garden and chase Eve, you always lose.
There you go. Hey, you guys, we got to bring this show to an end. The after party, hold on real quick. The after party is at the Bermuda Bar.
The hotel lobby.
B as in Bravo, ERMUDA. The Bermuda Bar. It's 3473. Oh, Norcross Road Suite, 100. All right, so make sure you guys put that in Google. So the after party is.
It's a bar in Duluth.
Bermuda.
Google
Bermuda Bar.
Bermuda Bar.
Bermuda
I don't
Bar.
know. I'm not sure. I've never been
Google Bermuda Bar.
There you go, Rella.
Hey, all you gotta do is go make sure you subscribe to Lapeef Let's Talk on IG and the Lapeef Experience on IG. All details will be posted on there because we FREE. Man, I ain't gotta worry about a fuck nigga.
Hey. Hey, do that dance, Elijah.
Do your dance.
Oh no. Hey. Hey, give a shout out to the new kings, the two kings of King Talk. Hey, Hummer Dad Trill. Where my Trill had at? Hey,
hit that shit, Elijah.
Hey,
there you go.
3 minutes, I ain't gotta worry about a fuck. Hey, Hey, this my nigga Shane. I ain't gotta. Hey, say it after me, y'all. FREE, fuck nigga, free me. I ain't gotta worry about a nigga. Hey, ING me. I ain't gotta worry about a. Hey, I'm done.
Happy birthday, Logic. We appreciate you guys. Hey, day 2 tomorrow, y'all. Day 2 tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Make sure you follow these guys on the individual platforms. You find Logic and Q.
That's home team.
Logic and Quest. He's still
Home
cute.
team.
Hey, follow Quest.
Logic and Quest, you'll find them on the home turf. We got Cruise Season in the building. We also got old back there somewhere on the 1s and 2s right there. So make sure you guys follow Cruise Season. Humble Dad, follow them. We got Alan.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. There you go. Miss Nathan right here.
The real Nathan Daly.
Y'all. Check me out.
We got it. We got Shannon Ross, and Chicago Really. You'll find him right here on the Lapeef Network, man. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe. Hey, go ahead and share y'all pictures, man. Make sure y'all tag at the Lapeef Network. Hashtag Lapeef
Hey,
Network.
on the count of three, happy birthday, Logic. Everybody, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Logic. We out, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, put this song on, JR.